Friday evening here in Los Angeles for the Freeway Series. It's the Dodgers and the Angels with Joe and Oral on the call. Take it away, Joe.
All right, John, welcome to Friday Night Baseball on Sportsnet LA, brought to you by Jack in the Box. It's the Freeway Series. The Dodgers and the Angels for the second time over the last month. The Dodgers sweeping the Angels down the 5 in Anaheim just last couple weeks ago. And we welcome inside Joe Davis, our Hershiser. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. The Dodgers play a 4-game series in Arizona. Looked like for the longest time there they were going to take 3 of 4, but they settled for the split.
Yeah, especially when you're up after the 7th inning with our bullpen. They aren't quite on that roll, but I look for the Angels right here to be a tough opponent because these Dodgers need to start winning at home. It's going to be a good game.
Kirsten, you've got the update on Max Muncy after that vicious collision last night.
Yeah, Joe, it was a scary one last night. We did with Max Muncy what we saw from him with that collision. It was a head-on one. Both guys were down for a couple of minutes immediately after, but they were both able to walk off the field on their own. When we spoke with Max Muncy last night afterwards, he said that what he felt there was that he had the wind knocked out of him, and he did say it got him pretty good in that moment. He, of course, has a bruise on his nose just due to where his glasses cut him, but ultimately he is okay. He's, of course, is not in the lineup today, but Dave Roberts did say that they expect him to be back out there for the next 2 of this series, guys.
All right, Kirsten, and so the Dodgers get ready to take on the Angels this weekend, and the Angels tied for the worst record in baseball. Dodgers' second best record in baseball, and that's how it looked when they met up a few weeks ago.
Yeah, the Dodgers' offense really exploded on them. They a 28-run differential in this series, ridiculous amount of dominance, and you know what? They hit 4 home runs in the 3 games. They hit over 400 with runners in scoring position. Great defense behind the pitching staff, and of course the starters were fantastic, but the relievers were on a roll also. So the Angels got them at full strength for sure.
And this streak for Roki Sasaki that he's been on lately started against the Angels. The best start of his career, 7 innings for the first time, struck out 8 and didn't walk anybody.
And 2 starts after that, he continued on that roll. And I think there was a lot of confidence facing the Angels. But watch out tonight, of course, for the split finger. No longer a forkball, and look for that slider to be dominant. And that has made the fastball a mystery when he tries to pull the trigger on that.
All right, it's Roki Sasaki for the Dodgers, Reed Deppers for the Angels. Game 1 of the Freeway Series coming up on Sportsnet LA. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Get fired up with the Hot Ones Munchie Meal.
Dodgers trying to take care of business this weekend because while they don't look ahead, we will. And next week, the Dodgers hit the road to play a couple of the surprise teams of the year, the Pirates and White Sox. If the season ended today, Jerry, both of those teams would be in the playoffs.
The Showbuckos, led by Paul Skins, he's a stud. And the White Sox, led by Miguel Vargas, he's a beast as well.
Yeah, well, listen, we can look ahead, but they can't take care of business. Now, don't assume anything. Orel said about that trap series, don't fall into it. Take care of business today.
All right, begins tonight with the first of 3 of this Freeway Series against the Angels. Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers. Shohei about to take on his former team with Joe and Orel on the call coming up after the break.
Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. The real sourdough star is back at Carl's Jr. Get it for just $5.99 for a limited time. And by your Southern California Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Back inside Uniqlo Field at Dodger Stadium, ready for the series opener between the Dodgers and the Angels. And Roki Sasaki tries to keep it rolling for the Dodgers starting staff. Back-to-back games of 6 scoreless innings. Ohtani on Wednesday, Robleski last night. 11 games in a row where they've had 2 earned runs or fewer. 1.51 ERA in that time for the Dodger starters, giving them a chance every single night to come out on top. And here comes Sasaki. Just finished off a wonderful month of May that feels like could be an early turning point in his young major league career. 1 run over 5 1/3 against the Phillies on Saturday in his last start, and that finished off the May where ERA was 3.18. It was above 6 in April, but looked like a different guy down the stretch the last month.
Different guy using different pitches. He was attacking with the fastball, throwing more strikes, more confident with that pitch. But the splitter now, not a forkball. There's 2 different times that he splits his finger and what he gets. One's faster, one's slower, one has better command. That's the splitter. And watch out for the slider. That acts like a really good pitch. He can make it go right to left, and he can make it go straight down.
You see what the league's hitting against it the last month, 111 against Sasaki, who had the best start of his career against these Angels just a few weeks ago. Really the heart of that great May. 7 innings down in Anaheim, just 1 run. He struck out 8, and is the only start of his career out of the 18 that he's made where he hasn't walked anybody.
This is a mental adjustment for him. The confidence, the league has proved to him what he had wasn't going to be good enough. And then he made the adjustments with the pitching coaches, with the communication with his skipper and his teammates. He is starting to grow as a pitcher, and it's starting to produce on the field.
Why don't we take a look at the lineup that'll face off with here in game one. They scratched Vaughn Grissom at about 5:30, and then they scratched Jorge Soler about 5 minutes ago. This is the third edition of the lineup the Angels have had today. It's going to be Neto, Trout, and Wade Meckler at the top. Then Joe Adell bats cleanup in right field. Donovan Walton at third base sitting fifth. Oswald Peraza, the first baseman. Nick Madrigal just joined the Angels a week ago, coming off a 4-hit game on Wednesday. The catchers, O'Hoppe and Adam Frazier, was the late addition into Soler's spot, hitting ninth. Dodgers, after splitting those 4 games in Phoenix, 16-5 over their last 21. They've got a 6.5 game lead over the Diamondbacks in the division, and just 2 back of the Braves for the best record in baseball. Neto climbs in, Sasaki's ready, and off we go. Started him with a slider, and he offers strike one. Well, the Angels have been a whole lot better the last couple weeks. Yes, tied for the worst record in baseball, but 7-5 their last 12 games, and the offense showing some fight. Overall, they strike out way too much, but they've added a few guys to the lineup that scrappers and giving them a little more of an identity.
It's the difference between having guys go up there and swing and then guys that are going up there hunting hits. And you can tell those ones that are grinders, the gym rats that want to compete and just put the ball in play and find some hits.
Guy right there, Wade Meckler, who will hit third, is one of the guys that they've plugged into the lineup that's given them some of that. Walton, Madrigal. 0-2 on Zach Neto. Shortstop for the Angels. Fouls it back. The last couple of years, as Trout has been hurt, Neto's taken over as their most valuable player just by virtue of Trout not being in there. This is an exciting player right here at a premium position. Hits for power, steals bases. 23 home runs 2 years ago, 26 of them last year. Another 0-2 from Sasaki. Neto grounds one to third. There's Espinal playing for Muncie tonight. One gone.
Center fielder, number 27, Mike Trout.
Well, speaking of Mike Trout, it is good for all of baseball when he is in the lineup and he's feeling healthy, and for the first time in years he does feel like himself physically, and the average not necessarily what you associate with Mike Trout, but just about everything else has been. He's in his 16th year, perennial all-star, 3-time MVP, but then for years just couldn't show those skills because he was hurt too often. But injury-free, and comes in third in the league in on-base percentage, leading the league in runs, top 10 in the league in wins above replacement. Sasaki has him down 0-2.
If he would allow them to trade him, they probably could get a lot to help this organization.
Just in terms of shedding salary at that point.
For sure that. But maybe a few players that could help them out in the long term, because they are definitely going to be on a long-term plan.
Sliders just downstairs.
And I actually think a change of scenery for Mike Trout, you might take him back to his prime because of the inspiration and the people he would be around if traded to a possible winner.
The one spot where he would make a ton of sense and you could see him being okay with would be Philadelphia, which is not too far from his hometown of Millville, New Jersey. But a full no trade clause, and Mike through the years has shown how loyal he is anytime that talk comes up. No, he has no intentions of going anywhere else. Another 1-2 from Sasaki. He leaves it upstairs, and it's 2-2.
I would hope the conversations are happening, though. I would love to see him in playoff baseball, especially when he's healthy. Talk about being good for baseball.
Sasaki strikes him out with a splitter.
A good splitter. The firmer version of splitting your fingers right here, and it looks like a fastball for a while and goes straight down.
53, Wade Meckler.
We saw to Neto, the slider was effective, and now to Trout, the splitter.
And if Sasaki and the Dodgers get 7 strikeouts in this game, everybody gets that free Jumbo Jack tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink at LA area Jack in the Box restaurants. From Trout to Meckler, who grew up in Anaheim, Esperanza High School. His favorite player was Mike Trout, and now he finds himself hitting behind Trout in the Angels lineup. Tries to lay off, but can't, and it's 1-1 on Meckler, who is 6 out of his last 8. And in his first 12 games with the Angels, he's hitting .389. The 1-1 pitch. Meckler swings and misses. I think dances away.
This is ridiculous stuff. We've seen 13 pitches. We've seen fastball command. We've seen an outstanding splitter. We've seen a really good slider and a confident Roki Sasaki.
Fires 1-2 and strikes him out. Another splitter. 4 swings against that pitch in the first inning. All of them misses. Ohtani's coming off a series in Phoenix where he didn't just have the 6 shutout innings on the mound. He also reached base 11 of his 15 times at the plate. Leads the National League in on-base percentage. Leads the National League in ERA. And he leads off this lineup presented by your SoCal Helpful Honda dealers against his old club with Andy Pages and Freddie Freeman. Then Mookie Betts, Kyle Tucker, Will Smith, Colin left, Rojas at second. Espinal starts at third. It's Reed Detmers for the Angels, who's been a paradox this year, hasn't he? I mean, you look at the overall numbers and not good. Underlying numbers, though, would tell you he's been one of the best pitchers in the league with a top 5 strikeout rate, the lowest walk rate, the lowest home run rate of his career.
That makes a huge difference between your actual and your expected. His expected ERA about 0.75 less than the one that he's carrying.
How about this for good luck figuring it out? May 19th, Reed Detmers gave up 8 runs. 5 days later, 8 innings, 1 hit, 14 strikeouts. And with an 0-2 to Ohtani in the dirt. Ohtani with this 20-game rally that you see right there has his average up above 300.
Remember when we were worried about him?
It was only like a month ago. The 1-2. He strikes out, 1 away.
Detmer showed him the slider away. Ohtani held up on it, then he beats him with the high fastball. Almost not high enough.
Center field, number 44, Andy Pages.
Played around with where he likes throwing that fastball through the years. Lately he's been throwing it down more, tunneling with his slider much better. Here comes to Pages with a fastball that just misses.
Fastball slider combo is the best when he tunnels it correctly. The changeup, when he has a feel for it, he will use it, but if he gives it up a hit with it, he'll abandon it very quickly.
There's a changeup right there. It's a new pitch this year for the 26-year-old from Illinois, who was a first-round pick out of Louisville in 2020 and got to the major leagues a year after that. Was great as a rookie. Let's go over 2-0 to Pages, and Andy lifts Rips it in the air to left field. Backs Meckler to the track. And now come forward to make the catch. Just got it off the end.
Here's the swing, and you'll see it's a little off the end of the bat right there at the barrel. Gets about 3/4 of the baseball. Just not on the sweet spot of the ball or the bat.
2 up and 2 down in this first inning. Now Freddie Freeman, who has a home run against Detmers. And is hitting .321 over his last 15 games. .321 with power, and with 14 runs batted in over those 15. It's given the top of the order, obviously, along with Ohtani getting going, the sense of stability that you expect with this group.
You know, the Dodgers have relied on the bottom of the order an awful lot, and at the top it has been usually just one guy, 1.5 guys getting it done. And it's usually because the bottom of the order is done a little bit more than they're expected, and then the table is set for the top of the order, and they can drive a few guys in.
Two on from Detmers. Freeman leaves it high, ball 3.
The resumes at the top of the Dodger order, just the bar is set so high. If they're not hitting 300 and driving in runs all the time and hitting 300 with runners in scoring position, everybody's like, what's going on?
And they've always hit Reed Detmers hard. He's made 3 starts in this ballpark and given up 16 runs in 12 innings. Payoff pitch, fouled off. Very tough on left-handed hitters. Only 3 of them in the Dodger order today. A couple of them in this first inning. Strikes out Ohtani, and it's 3-2 on Freeman. Another payoff from Detmers, and another foul from Freeman.
Freddie spoiling the fastball, and if Detmer decides to throw him just a 3-2 get over slider, I would say watch out if it's slightly up. Freddie might get one.
Throw a slider low, and the Dodgers have their first base runner. Because they scored 31 runs against the Angels a few weeks back. It wasn't necessarily the big swings, the loud swings. The bigger issue was the walks. The Angels issued 18 of them in 3 games.
And then the Dodgers hit over 400 with runners in scoring position after those free passes.
All right, so the inning kept alive for Mookie Betts, who has also taken Detmers deep before. Yeah, and he takes ball 1. Betts is 0 for 4 yesterday. Frustrating stretch going for him here as he tries to get his season off of the ground at just 183. Strokes this ball to left center field. Trout on the run, makes the catch. Mike Trout back in center field this season. Good first step right there. Something he's been putting extra work in on lately, and takes a hit away from Betts to finish off the first. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit Kia.com to discover movement that inspires. 1-2-3 first inning for Sasaki. Goes back to work here against Joe Adell. And starts him with the fastball. That's poked foul, and that fastball continues to play up. 97 right there, but this is up to 98, 99, even touched 100 against the Phillies last weekend. And Roki was saying that he made a couple minor adjustments and felt good about it in his side work, thought that it would help his velocity. But even he looked up at the radar gun on Saturday last weekend and said, whoa, I didn't expect quite that. That's back to the range where it was years ago in Japan before he started to lose velocity and led to a surge that has gone on a few years. It was a check swing tapper up the middle for Rojas. Circles around it to get Adell.
Confidence will bring more velocity. Finding a little mechanical tweak will bring that. It was one of the things that in his interviews with the Dodgers that they said they could help with when if he would sign with the Dodgers.
Roki said he feels like it's all starting to come together. He said, I'm not worried about getting healthy at this point. I'm not talking about mechanics. It's just about game planning, who we're going to face, and then going and getting guys out. This one pops away from him. Ball one on Donovan Walton. Totally different place to live. I mean, he's got to feel like a different person out there, not having to think about those things that don't help him.
When you move things from I have to think about this to they come natural, it is a huge jump in a young player. And it can be as much as your grip. It can be as much as how am I dealing with the nerves. It could be with where are my fielders behind me and where do I want the out. So many things that you're trying to think about and work on because he's a very detail-oriented kid.
Boy, that splitter.
It's ridiculous right now. He's been out of the zone about 50% of the time, but the ball is starting like a strike, and he has proved that he can throw his fastball for a strike. So they're chasing a lot, but they're not chasing a lot like, oh, and he's got a bad spray pattern. He has a very effective spray pattern.
Looking like a strike until the last second when it's not even close. Now the 1-2 coming to a good bat-to-ball guy in Walton. That's the first splitter that they've made contact against.
He can stick with it if he wants to get him out, or he can show him something else like a high fastball.
Line drive center field. Pages into the gap, tracks it down 2 away.
He gets it out, but it's probably the worst splitter he's thrown of all of them so far, and he hasn't thrown a ton of them, but they've all been exceptional. This one kind of hung up, and in a 1-2 count. He wanted one of the exceptional ones and miss in the dirt. Don't miss over the plate.
5 up, 5 down for Sasaki. And it's Oswald Peraza. Swing and a miss on a first pitch slider. And I think there are some folks that think that he can even continue to incorporate that more against right-handed hitters.
Yeah, 0-0, 2-0, and 2-1. He's thrown almost 30% sliders. When he's throwing at 0-0, it's a surprise pitch on the guys that might be sitting on the fastball and fastball happy to swing at because they don't want to see the splitter. And then when he's throwing at 2-0 and 2-1, it gets him back into counts without using just the fastball all the time.
Splitter taking the headlines, but the slider sneaky good.
I think it really is. I think it is not a foundational pitch, but it's the pitch that's going to take him to the next level. Because the fastball splitter combination, great combination for a reliever. Having the third pitch, the slider, is the one that makes you a really good starter and will get your pitch count in control.
Head of Peraza 1-2. Sasaki comes back home. Fastball poked to first, and there's Freddie Freeman sprawling to the deck to get him. 6 up and 6 down for Roki Sasaki.
Be one of the first 40,000 fans and take home your Dodgers soccer jersey. That'll be on June 16th. It'll be presented by Bank of America. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions for more information.
Back in Los Angeles, Hiroki Sasaki has retired the first 6 that he's faced, and Kyle Tucker climbs in to lead off the second. Lefty Reed Detmers comes home, and Kyle Tucker pops the first pitch up. At third base, Donovan Walton, 1 pitch, 1 out for Detmers. It brings up Will Smith, who doubled and walked yesterday. .464 on base percentage over this 7-game stretch.
Be nice to see Will continue to swing a hot bat, be rewarded for hitting the ball hard and get it away from some fielders. Hit it over the wall. There's no fielders there, but yeah, there's some gaps out there too.
Now, one of the oddities of his statistical line this year is that he's not done anything against left-handed pitching. 167 does not have an extra base hit against lefties, and I was talking with Dave Roberts about that today and said, is that maybe just not that much of a sample and the bad luck that we've seen manifesting right there? And he said, I think there actually may be a little something more to it against the lefties. Talked about how he's used the all-field approach, and that's a good thing. Dave said, though, if there's ever a time to shift that approach, to have 2 different approaches, when you're facing left-handers, that's the time to turn and burn. If you're going to try to pull the ball, that's the time.
Well, definitely a time on a strike breaking ball from a lefty coming into your swing where he is so good on the inner half and keeping it fair.
Down very quickly right here, 2 out.
That's the pitch right here that equalizes the turn and burn approach, but I think he just got fooled completely thinking he was getting something other than that fastball away.
One end of the spectrum to the other here in success against left-handers. Alex Call's hitting .476 against southpaws. Fastball sneaks by him.
Speaking of Dave Roberts' conversations, when I was talking to him about Alex Call, what he loves about Alex Call compared to Dave Roberts' own personal experience on the ball field. Dave was more of a guy that he could be hitting .310, and deep down inside he knew he wasn't a .310 hitter, so he'd almost put a ceiling on himself, and you just watch his average kind of start dropping. He sees Alex Call as a guy that if he was hitting .310 or .320, he wouldn't see a ceiling at all. Like, oh, there's going to be a regression. Alex Call would continue to have confidence and say, this is me. I'm going to do this.
He thinks he's a .310 hitter whether he's hitting that or not.
Exactly.
Fights this one off. Not going to be an easy play for Walton. Running throw. And an awkward step there by Peraza, and he missed the bag. Oswald Peraza is a talented fielder, but this is the first time in his life he's played first base this season.
Good play at third.
He just never found it.
It could be interesting that did he drag the foot or get it to the bag just in time, right? I think he might be out. I think the side of his foot at first base gets there before Alex Call's foot goes down on the bag. Gets over the bag. Does it go? Oh, no, he's safe there. That angle, it's safe.
And no matter how many times you played first base, that's a pretty indefensible play right there for Peraza. Just get to the bag and put your foot against it.
Yeah. You can put both feet on the bag and then watch for the throw and then stride according to the angle of the throw. But to not find the bag at all is a cardinal sin for sure. Something that you learn all the way back in Little League.
It's been ruled a base hit, and so Call is saying, that's right, .310 hitter. Alex Call, 30-game stretch in 2024 for the Nationals before he got hurt. Hit .343. So, again, that's just 30 games, but that's a long enough of a burst for a guy to take some confidence from it.
Well, Dave and I were having a conversation about running from defeat or running towards success, and I felt like I was always kind of running from defeat. I don't want to get embarrassed. I want to learn everything I can to be the best I can, but I don't want to be embarrassed.
After review, the fielder's foot did come back and touch the base before the runner. The call on the field is overturned. The runner is out. The Los Angeles Angels have retained their challenge.
Not on the video I'm watching.
Yeah, on one angle I had him out. On the other angle, I thought it was conclusively safe.
We don't matter. Only New York does.
At Dodger Stadium, and ahead of the game, the Dodgers unveiled a tribute to Trailblazers Billy Beane and Glenn Burke, who both played for the Dodgers and were among the first professional athletes to identify as gay. So now whenever you visit Centerfield Plaza, you can see that permanent display, learning more about their careers and their contributions to Major League Baseball, guys.
Ari Kirsten in for Glenn Burke. That will, of course, include that he helped invent the high five. Final day of the 1977 season. Dusty Baker joined the 30 home run quartet. Last day homers against J.R. Richard. Comes home and there was Glenn to put out his hand, give him a high five. Hiroki Sasaki's retired the first 6 that he's faced. Nick Madrigal leads off the 3rd for the Angels. It went 2 years between games in the majors. Came up more than a week ago and coming off a 4-hit game, making an instant impact. It ricochets off his glove. There's no way. Oh my goodness. So close. How in the world was it even that? Sasaki to Rojas. And then bang, bang at first, but safe for an infield hit.
I want him to go to review just so we get to see it over and over again.
You're going to get your wish. There's no way. Did he possibly do it? Oh,
he's out.
My gosh.
He's out. He's out, and it's a lifetime highlight for Miggy Rowe.
Another?
Another. Just tell everybody this is a playoff.
Let's go.
Tell me it's not a beautiful game.
Wow, and the stretch from Freddie.
World-class athletes at their best. Why are you going to retire?
That's look at rushing.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. Runner is out. Los Angeles Dodgers retain their challenge.
Wouldn't it be funny if Dan Iasoni was like, the call on the field is overturned, runner is out. That was insane. Turns out, adds a little color there. Wow.
That's one of the best 1-4-3 outs you'll ever see.
Rojas playing it cool, but he has to be thinking to himself, how in the world did I just do that? One away in the 3rd. Here's the catcher, O'Hoppe. Slider for a strike.
I mean, to get rid of it that quick, to barehand it initially, and then to throw it accurately, and it got there in enough time. You know, usually we're just in awe of the athletic ability and the way they move out there, and then that throws kind of up the line or towards right field, and you go, wow, what an attempt. But to finish it off and get the review and the out, that's a topper.
0-2 to Hoppy. Strikes him out on 3 consecutive sliders.
Well, the slider and the split have been the whiff pitches where they swing and miss, and he's getting a lot of them.
Designated hitter number 20, Adam Frazier.
It's 11 strikeouts against these Angels over the course of 2 outings. A little over 9 innings.
So already 3 Ks in this one. 4 away from Jumbo Jacks. Late addition to the lineup. The late addition is Adam Frazier, the veteran infielder. Moved everybody up. It was Soler who was going to hit cleanup, got scratched. They plugged Frazier into the 9 spot. Off the hands and foul, and it's 1-1. Sasaki to Frazier. The 2-1 offering is hit foul. 2-2.
We're watching a completely different pitcher. He has grown so fast over the last 3 or 4 starts. The confidence, the body language, the strike throwing ability, mastering of his splitter and his slider.
He loses Frazier, and the Angels have their first base runner. You can just feel a different sense of confidence radiating off of him.
Number 9, Zach Neto.
He's so not in his own head as far as second guessing or feeling or thinking about stuff. He's got time out there to applaud his fielders when they make great plays. He's got time to smile. Things are starting to slow down for him.
Back to the top of the order, Zach Neto grounded out his first time. Takes strike 1. You got the different schedule, the different ball, the different culture, all these different things. But he was saying that one of the biggest things was the expectations of what you exude in terms of confidence in your interviews and just when you're walking around. In Japan, he says it's all about humility. He said, here I've come to learn that it's okay to be like, I'm pretty good. I'm the guy when things are going well. Not just okay, but it's expected that you show some of that confidence. And so that's been another big adjustment for him. He told Maddie Lee in LA Times.
Yeah, you can carry yourself with some swagger. And you can feed off of it. You don't have to immediately stay in a shell, even though you did something exceptional. You can leverage it.
Inside corner, just caught it. Strike 2 on Neto.
Will was about to challenge it, but then he heard the late strike call. Maybe Will's right arm going to the helmet. Help the umpire raise his right arm.
Sasaki to Neto, the 2-2. Fastball chopped towards the middle. Betts gets there, shovels it off to Rojas in time. I think it's like a wet bar of soap popping out of his glove, but Rojas found it. And a couple nice defensive plays in this inning as he shovels it off there. No score, middle 3.
be one of the first 40,000 fans tomorrow and get your exclusive Tyler Glasnow Starter Series bobblehead presented by Blue Shield. Visit Dodgers.com/promotion for more information.
Miguel Rojas leads off this third after his incredible play in the top of this inning that you're going to see for years.
Yeah, sorry, Mookie, your play wasn't the best in the inning. Mookie's was very good, but this one is ridiculous.
And an underrated stretch from Freddie Freeman on the back end of it. When he saw Dalton Rushing saying no way to Miguel Rojas, he also gave one of those waves over to Freeman because he knows firsthand how tough it is over there, having played some first base himself. Good first baseman sometimes flies under the radar just because he cleans up messes. You realize the importance of a good first baseman when you see a bad one.
Oh, that's true. We've seen both tonight. It's not a position where everybody thinks like put him at first so they can go over there and rest. If you're going to play the position well, it's a position where you have to work. I mean, anything hit in the infield, you're moving, right? And you're moving even if it hits through a hole, because you have to go to first base, get your footwork ready, that if the fielder happens to go into the hole and do what Miggy just did, you got to be ready. You can't play the position and assume.
From 0-2 to 3-2, and now strike three. Third one for Detmers. One gone in the third.
Well, we were told by Angel people that Detmers could go out there and get knocked out in 3 innings, and he could go 7 shutout innings against you. You just don't know which one you're going to get.
Well, Max Muncy getting the day off after the collision yesterday. It's Espinal getting the start today. He has a home run against Detmers in his career, back when he was with the Blue Jays. I was talking with Max about that collision, and he said that he sees Vargas going to foul ground to get the ball, and then he's putting his head down running, and he's thinking, okay, he's going on the foul ground side. I'm going to make it clear I'm going on the inside of the bag, and then looked up at the last moment, and he said we locked eyes, and it was like time stopped, and we both thought, uh-oh, this ain't going to be good. He said the more times that he's watched it, the worse he feels, because he sees that, man, he kind of decleated Vargas there. Went out of his way to find out what Vargas's drink of choice is, and had it sent over to the clubhouse just as a
Catcher is challenging the call of ball.
little sign of an apology. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
The call is confirmed. Anaheim has 1 challenge remaining.
And it was a ball, so 2-1 on Espinal. We were talking about it. Alex Freeland walked by and he said, hey, the Chargers called. They're looking for a middle linebacker. Which Max played until his sophomore year of high school. 2-2 on Espinal. Wanted to keep playing, but spring football just as big of a deal as fall football in Texas, and conflicted with baseball, so he had to pick.
It's one thing about the coaches that have power over your off season. I don't like that in high school for guys. I think they should be able to make a choice, and the coach can't be in a bad mood if you decide to play baseball through but not go to spring football workouts.
And he did say, he said, I could have probably done both, but then it would have been no practices for baseball. I'd just be showing up in the games and that'd be it. And that didn't feel right, especially when he had a good baseball future that he recognized.
I even hear, high school coaches that tell their kids, you're going to make the team next year if you play in my travel ball team in the summer where I need you. And the kids want to play another sport.
Espinal shoots it to first, where it's caught by Peraza.
I just think, let the kids play and let their ability pan out, and don't have bias against them whether they're going to play the sport year-round and take private lessons and come to your camps compared to the kid that plays multiple sports.
Ohtani, who struck out his first time. Yeah, I hate the pressure to pick one. Not to say, okay, I'm going to go to the big leagues, but it's like there's pressure that you have to pick a sport if you want to play it in high school even.
Right. It starts way too early, and it's like your coaches are making you specialize, not the kid and his love for all the sports or one particular sport.
But like beyond that, though, it's like institutionalized at this point. It's not the coaches making those rules. It's just how it's become. 1-1 with a big rip from Ohtani. And I don't know how you fix it.
No, I'm not sure they don't make the rules, but they're definitely part of the equation.
Yeah.
You know, when somebody tells you, you know, you probably start on the team if you play on my summer league team, and now you want to do something else. You want to play golf. You want to play tennis. You know, it's like I want to take my summer and do this, or my fall and do this.
But let me put it this way. If I get to high school and I've chosen just to play Little League Baseball through 8th grade, how am I going to make the team when every other kid played travel ball the whole way?
That is hard. And
all I want to do is play for my high school team.
Yeah. The choices are coming early. And sometimes a lot of those kids that are specialized, they play one sport year round and the joints wear out, the soft tissue wears out, the burnout of the mind. I've just played too much. I'm done with it.
2-2 to Ohtani, taken down. Three and 2 on Shohei Ohtani, who's hit 5 home runs and knocked in 16 in 13 games against his old club. Just misses, and a challenge here from Mohapi trying to finish off this inning.
The catcher is challenging the call ball.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. And this was strike 3, so it's overturned, and Detmers has struck out Ohtani both times. He's got 4 total. World Champion Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Good times. Top of the 4th, neither team with a hit so far. Sasaki for the Dodgers, Detmers for the Angels. Mike Trout takes a first pitch slider for a strike. It's only the 7th game all season in the majors where there's not been a hit through 3 innings. Trout, who was a strikeout victim his first time, takes high, and it's 1-1. Sasaki's got 3 Ks. He's walked 1. 19th career start in the major leagues. First time he's been through 3 innings without giving up a hit. Sneaks his fastball by Trout. 1-2.
He joins the parade of the starters. The 15 straight scoreless innings for the rotation as he takes the hill for this inning.
So Ohtani Wednesday, Robleski yesterday, and now Sasaki. to short, and Betts, who's able to get in front of that ball somehow, heaves it across to get Trout.
One blemish on the season for Mookie Betts, playing an outstanding shortstop.
Number 53, Wade Meckler.
That extra little piece of footwork is something that the guy who's playing second base worked with him. Chris Woodward also. Dino Ebel also. It's like a conglomerate of great fielders giving advice to Mookie as he switched from right field to shortstop and has made the transition beautifully.
Wade Meckler's up there, took a strike. And most of the talk around Mookie is centered around his bat and the slow start. But yeah, the defense is short. Makes that easier to stomach. It's more problematic if you're doing what he's doing at the plate in right field. But it's such a high value position defensively, and he's playing it at such a high level. He doesn't have to be a 900 OPS MVP caliber slugger to be an immensely valuable player. Now, he's not going to think that way, and you wouldn't want him to think that way. But it's not the end of the world. If you look up at the end of the season, he's got high 700s OPS, which for him might feel like the end of the world compared to his career numbers. But when you combine that hypothetical offensive production with the reality of this defense, you'll take that 10 times out of 10
for sure
when you're talking about just what you're looking for from your shortstop. And I know that strips out of it the talk of what his contract is and what his background is. Payoff. He walks Meckler.
Well, for Mookie, we've always talked about the stress of changing positions and how the bat went flat for a little while, and then he got sick and lost the weight, and had some aches and pains. But he also now, he's healthy, he's strong, the weight's back, but there's stress every day playing that position.
Especially the way he approaches his work there. Joe Adell chops one foul.
You know, he's not A-Rod, he's not Cal Ripken, he's not a big, strong guy. It's a lot of wear and tear for smaller guys to hit for power, to play that position on a daily basis, and it's stressful. You can semi-rest out in right field on pitches. As far as first step, as far as engaging your mind out in right field, yeah. There's maybe, say you had 5 balls hit you in right field on a day. There might be one where your first step was important. And you're locking in on every pitch. But it's short. Your first step and you're loading your legs and your body to get ready to move is every single pitch.
Strike 3 on Adell. A look out there from Joe Adell like, you nasty.
He is nasty because the split has different breaks. Like we've seen the one that goes left to right against lefties. We're seeing the one that goes straight down and buries, and then we're seeing that one that maintained its height but still was sharp and is a strike.
Donovan Walton's the lone guy to get the ball out of the infield for the Angels. A wave over a slider, righty lefty slider right there.
Slider that went straight down like a split. When he gets to the point where the next level is where you can put some sweep on that slider, it's going to be terrible for right-handers. This is exciting. This really is exciting to watch. I mean, as critical as we were to watch him, and the bar was so high, and the expectations in the media and everywhere are so high, and you got Yamamoto and Ohtani on the team. This is really fun to watch.
It went from us trying to find a silver lining in each start to noticing improvements, but they were incremental. I mean, this is just straight dominance.
Yeah, this is really, really good. And it's like 4 starts in a row, 5 starts in a row.
Fires 1-2 and strikes him out with a fastball. How about 99 to the inside black from Roki Sasaki, who's not given up a hit through 4.
Make your favorite players all-stars. Scan the QR code to cast your 2026 Konami eBaseball MLB All-Star ballot. You can do that every day or visit MLB.com to vote.
It's not a coincidence that we give that promo right here with Andy Pages coming up. Needs your votes. And what is always going to be a crowded field. The outfield, 3 spots. Not just Andy Pages trying to win center field, but trying to win one of the 3 outfield positions against every outfielder in the league. Dodgers still looking for their first hit against Reed Detmers. The lefty's 0-1. Curve misses.
If you vote on name recognition, it's going to be tough on Pages. If you vote on production and who deserves it, he should be a starter.
Averaging .286, leads the league in runs batted in. He's 6th in extra base hits, and he's been the most valuable defender by some measures in the league.
If you're borderline, I think I'll vote, or I want to vote, or I can vote every day. I don't know if I'll just vote once. No. If you feel for Andy Pages and what he went through last year, I think he got left off the team. He should have made it. Extra motivation for you to get online at MLB.com/vote and vote for this guy. Grab a few other Dodgers too, but definitely vote for this guy.
Do it for what he's overcome in the last year. Do it for what he's overcome throughout his life to get here.
Yeah.
That's a guy who had to defect from Cuba to chase his major league dreams. And then when he was right there getting ready to get called up, blew out his shoulder, had to miss an entire year. Checks his swing, 2-2.
This check swing is growth. I mean, we saw him chase second half of last year to the point where he wasn't even on the playoff roster. He got back on in the World Series, right? Or was he on it in the playoffs? But he lost his starting job. He came in and made the big catch and knocked Kike over, but he didn't want that to ever happen again, to watch his team from the bench and not be out there every day.
He's worked it full. And now he pops it up behind first. Peraza is out. Adell is on. Joe Adell makes the catch. And then the last little piece of that is that he ain't going to do it for himself. You're never going to hear Andy Pages talk about himself. You're not going to hear Andy Pages talk about much of anything. This guy's all business. Show up, do my work, go to sleep, come back, do it again. No promotion. All baseball.
When asked, he will do the interview, but he is not going to see the microphone or the camera.
Freeman, the lone base runner for the Dodgers in this game via walk in the first. Slider just misses. Challenge here from Ohapi.
Catcher is challenging the call ball.
ABS powered by T-Mobile, and it was a good one from Ohapi.
Close overturned. Anaheim has 1 challenge remaining.
So it's 0-2 on Freddie Freeman. Making sure they have the count right. Jen Powell, the home plate umpire, the first female umpire in Major League history. Freeman lines the ball into center field and becomes the first hit of the night.
Freddie hits a ball just like the guy who's coming up the plate, Mookie Betts, did in his first at bat, but Freddie finds outfield grass, doing a good job on a high fastball, getting on top of it and hitting a line drive. Mookie looking to recreate what he did in his first at bat. Same type of swing, same line drive, just Trout got a better jump and caught it.
Yeah, one of the hardest hit balls of the game, hit it 104 to center field. I just want to circle back to that discussion we were having about Mookie Betts offensively. We're not saying he's not still going to be 900. What we're saying is the bar for him to be really good is not as high just because of the value he brings defensively. So when you're looking at the 180 unsightly and the OPS 600, yeah, not good, but not as far off from good as if he was playing right. So all relative to the position you play when you're looking at a team's value, what you bring to your team value-wise.
I thinking of him as not as a power hitter anymore. I think of him as a guy when he hits a home run, he's capable, but he really is a line drive gap-to-gap hitter. And I think he'd be better off if that was the image in his head. This is the first at bat, and this swing was really good. You know, we know it's loud off the bat, but the approach, and yes, if he gets that in the air a little more, it's a home run, but I think there's more hits for him. The hard ground balls and the line drives, and then just be surprised when the ball leaves the ballpark.
Freeman at first, one away, no score, bottom four. 3-2 to Betts. Tries to lay off and does for ball four. First runner in scoring position in this ball game. Yeah, that's the other thing. Even though he's not getting his hits, this guy does not strike out. That is walk number 10, only 16 Ks all year.
I remember when he struggled last year, he decided that, you know what, I'm going to come to the ballpark every day and just find a way to help us win, whether it's a walk or play clean defense or run the bases correctly and get the extra base. Not worry about the batting average and the hits. And that kind of freed him up mentally, and all of a sudden the offense started to come. And I think that's where the mindset needs to be this year, because he starts chasing, I want to get up to 300. That's going to be a lot of pressure with the slow start.
But Mookie has told me that he's felt like that was kind of the last step in his mental evolution, was to go through what you're talking about last year and realize that it can't always be about my swing, my thing, shifting to be about others first, to be about the team first, and to have it lead to him being better individually. He thinks a huge deal for him to go through. Tucker, the man at the plate, with the first runner in scoring position tonight, and he takes a ball. Popped out his first time. Tucker had 3 hits on Wednesday and then another hit yesterday. On the road, Kyle Tucker this year has hit like Kyle Tucker. Dodger Stadium, though, the OPS 250 points below what it is on the road and below what it's been throughout his career. Ground ball right side, backhand Peraza, little stumble, goes to second, and the stumble costs him a double play. Inning kept alive.
Number 16, Will Smith.
We're seeing the yin and the yang of how to play first base.
Yeah. Up to Will Smith. Struck out his first time. Freeman at third, Tucker at first, in a scoreless 4th inning. Change up a little bit inside from his old Louisville teammate and Detmers. The fastball has played up tonight.
Yeah, he's been on his game. His spray pattern has been pretty tight. I think the changeup's the only one that really has not been in the places where he's wanted it. Mostly a ball. I think he's got to feel pretty good about his rhythm on the mound, the execution, and how to get people out.
He's got 11 swings and misses in this game. 10 of them have come on his fastball. .26 years old in his 6th major league season. Reed Detmers just 1 hit through 3 2/3. His 1-2 to Will Smith, fouled back.
At 26, with all that experience and this arm and this ability to spin the baseball, he's still got a really high ceiling.
Got to the majors a year after he was drafted, pitched a no-hitter as a rookie. Spiraled from there, though. Demoted to the bullpen. His return from the pen and hitting his stride again. Backdoors a breaking ball to get Will Smith in strand 2 in the 4th. Back in Los Angeles, and the Performance Spotlight sponsored by your Southern California Nissan dealers, Ohtani to Robleski. And now Roki Sasaki with 4 scoreless makes it 16 in a row shutout innings for the Dodgers starting staff.
Roki's pitch count under control, much better than the other outings over the course of the year, averaging about 18 pitches an inning. Tonight, that's only his 61st, so 15 pitches an inning, and that's an awful lot to knock off.
Ball on Oswald Peraza. He's only exceeded 100 pitches 1 time. Dave Roberts has been pretty aggressive. As you say, getting him up the tunnel with a good feeling. So like last start, 5 1/3, and Doc took him out at 84 pitches. Even with the aggressive hook, though, he's pitched into the 6th, 5 of his last 6 starts. 1-1 to Peraza. Dave did say before the game, I'm ready to push him. He's earned that right. And the way that he pitched against the Angels last time, confident that he could have a chance to do so tonight. Dominated him the last time, and another level in this one. There's 2-1. Big bouncer. Espinal's got it. Bang, bang, but in time, 1 away.
In the past, when he hasn't had command, first time around the order, pretty doggone good. Second time around and third time around the order, he gets hit because everybody started to realize that he can't land the forkball, and he doesn't throw the slider very much. So we're just going to sit on the fastball. And then he would throw the fastball, fall behind in count, and then have to come to the middle of the plate with the fastball, and he would get hit. Now, completely different equation for the hitter.
Hitter here is Madrigal. And it's 0-2 like that.
Now he can make the ball start in the middle of the plate and make it break away, or he can just beat you with 99.
Madrigal having to step out and take time, feeling the tempo of Sasaki, which is something Dave Roberts has emphasized to him, could really help him working faster.
Yeah, when you get a hitter feeling bad about the count or the pitches that he's seeing, and like I have no chance if he executes that again, you don't want them to have time to recover mentally. You want to be suffocating them.
Line drive left field sends him back. It is over Call's head. And the first hit of the game for the Angels is a double from Nick Madrigal on a 2-strike pitch.
Yeah, it's a little hanger. I don't know if it's a hanger slider or a hanger split, but it's up in his eyes. And big league hitters, I don't care where you play, where you are on the batting order, that is a juicy pitch. Alex Call was going to give it everything. You can't tell me that the fielders behind Sasaki didn't know something special was brewing. So he would have ran into the wall for him if he could have got there.
So no hitters gone, but bigger deal is that Angels could take the lead with a base hit. No Hoppy struck out on 3 pitches his first time, 3 straight sliders. And if it ain't broke, Sasaki's sticking with the slider, but falling behind 2-0. Roller to third. Espinal gobbles it up and throws him out 2 away.
Nice recovery by Sasaki after hanging that pitch to not hang your head and get right back in there with good stuff.
Up to the 9-hitter. Adam Frazier wasn't in the lineup until about 5 minutes before the game today when Jorge Soler was scratched. Soler's been dealing with a groin issue. And so Frazier, who's with his 6th different team in the last 6 years, takes outside on a forkball. First one that Sasaki's thrown tonight. And then back to the splitter, which is interesting because it was the same velocity. Blended together a little bit there.
Yeah, the computer may be reading spin rate, and even Sasaki could tell you that. I'm not sure which one is which.
Normally, when it's high 80s now, it would be a forkball, which is what it said 2 pitches ago. But then the same velocity, and it said split.
Just can't trust AI.
Oh man.
What's the topic for not a 0-0 game?
1-2 pitch. Taken in the dirt. Ball 2.
He kind of took that out of hand, like he actually read it a little bit. It's not a bad time to throw a letter high fastball. If you're that disciplined on a breaking ball. Okay.
Stuck with a splitter and struck him out. Number 6 for Sasaki. The Angels get the first hit of the night, but they strand him at second. Halfway home in this pitcher's duel. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. Nothing been easy on these hitters tonight. Detmers for the Angels, Sasaki for the Dodgers. Bottom 5 and just a hit apiece. That's a strike on Alex Call. 7, 8, 9 coming up for the Dodgers. Have not dropped back-to-back games in almost a month. 16-5 over their last 21. Lead the D-backs by 6.5 in the division. Start the day 2 back of the Braves for the best record in baseball. I see though the Braves have already won today, 6-3 over the Pirates. There's Pirates on deck for the Dodgers after this 3-game homestand. 6-game trip, 3 in Pittsburgh, 3 in Chicago against the White Sox. That's a tour of 2 of the big surprises in baseball this year. It begins the month of June where the Dodgers go 10 out of 13 on the road. 1-2 to call. This is away. Reed Detmers, another fantastic start tonight. Call shoots it up the middle and it's caught by Madrigal. Said that he tried to learn from what went well for him in the bullpen last year. He really did pitch pretty well in a full-time relief role. And he said he thinks it comes down to he nibbled less, tried to apply that attacking mentality to his days now again as a starter. But it's been fleeting. There'll be starts like this where you do see him really coming after guys, but there are those times where he'll revert to the old Reed Detmers as a starter, which is you get the 2 strikes and then look for every kind of chase you can. Kind of the anti-Justin Robleski approach. But when he's attacked, he has been one of the best pitchers in the AL. Ball on Rojas. Pops it up right side. 2 up. 2 down.
For Detmer, he's got to just mature in that area. That he just can't let things spiral out of control. And you also, when you do get to 2 strikes, you've got to make a quality pitch, but you don't have to make one that embarrasses the hitter. You can still be a strike out of hand and try and get him to chase a little bit or hit the corner. But to try and embarrass the hitter and overthrow and really try and get that strikeout compared to conserving your pitch count and pitching to contact. Robleski totally into, I'm only going to go for the swing and miss when I absolutely need it and the game's on the line or a run is on the line.
Spun in a curve to Espinal. And outspeeds a fastball by him. Lined out his first time. Lone hit for the Dodgers in this game, a single from Freddie Freeman. They do have 2 walks, but this looks like a totally different matchup than we saw in Anaheim last month. That 3-game sweep where they outscored them 31-3. Biggest margin of victory in a 3-game series for the Dodgers since the year 2000 and the 4th biggest in franchise history. Sky high off of the bat of Espinal. Reed Detmers has come to Dodger Stadium, which has been a house of horrors for him in his career, and fired 5 shutout innings.
The first 40,000 fans will take home an exclusive Shaquille O'Neal bobblehead, and that'll be on Saturday, June 20th. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions for more information.
No runs on one hit apiece to the 6th inning. Sun has dropped. Darkness has fallen here onto the weekend in Los Angeles. Top of the order for the Angels, and Zach Neto to lead off. He's grounded out twice against Sasaki. Lifts this one to left center field. Call, charges on, won't get there. And a leadoff hit here in the 6th.
Fastball in, and he makes a really good pitch. Neto just gets enough on it to find a little hole in the left center gap.
Center fielder Mike Trout.
Off the label of the bat. Hits it well enough to touch some outfield grass.
56 stolen bases for Neto the last 2 years. This year he's stolen 8, but he's been caught 6 times. Got a good lead. Sasaki to Trout. Strike 1. Neto out of Campbell University, the Campbell Camels. Oh, and 2 on Trout.
I got to compliment him. Gives up the base hit, and all of a sudden, with Mike Trout up there, he's in the strike zone with an 0-2 count. I mean, that's huge growth. Paying attention to the runner, getting the first pitch strike. In a pitcher's duel where your nerves could start to get out of hand.
Neto's got a good lead. Not going. Trout takes strike 3. How about that? Comes back and strikes out one of the all-time greats.
They're pitching backwards right now. Neto got the hit on the fastball. Will Smith and Roki decide to stick with the heater with Trout. Get him looking. He's upset with the location, but he likes the results, I'm sure.
7 for Sasaki. And jumbo jacks for everybody tomorrow. Here's Meckler. A little bit outside with the heater. Last 4 starts for Sasaki. That's 26 strikeouts to 5 walks.
What you have to realize at home is the instructions on the pitch comm that Roki is hearing is not only fastball, but fastball up and in, fastball low and away. There's specific instructions on the pitch comm when the catcher pushes the buttons.
Neto got a good jump, throw down, not in time. The stolen base for Neto, and the go-ahead run is in scoring position.
He got an outstanding jump. That was more than a jump. It was a walking lead.
Dodgers going to challenge, though. Great job by Will Smith. What a quick transfer.
It really was. And the tag is on the backside, but does the hand get there in time? Might be, from that angle, hard to tell. Watching to see when the elbow bends. Ooh, he's out, I think.
Wow. Man, did he get a good jump.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it was like a walking lead, and he was crossing over before even Roki's delivery started. That might not be conclusive. We're going to see. You never know what New York's going to think.
They're all partying because the Knicks just went up 2-0.
Yeah.
New York, pick up. Well, Smith the last 2 years has thrown out more base runners than anybody in the National League, although this year success rate not nearly as high. Base stealers are 22 for 27 against him. He'd been about 30% success rate cutting runners down the previous 2 seasons. I think he got him.
I think he did too. The impact of the leather there before the You see any impact on the oven mitt? Either stands or overturned. One of the longer reviews we've had.
To review, the call on the field stands. The runner is safe. Los Angeles Dodgers lose their challenge.
All right, so just not enough there. Neto has stolen second. Just for reference there on how fast that was from Will Smith to make that a question. 1.86 pop time, so from his glove to Mookie Betts. Number one in the majors, Real Muto, 1.85. So that right there is elite, what you just saw.
The standard is 2 flat.
Neto inching off second as Meckler takes strike 2. Sasaki trying to pitch around the go-ahead run in scoring position for the second time over the last 2 innings. Pitched around a double last inning. And a single and a stolen base, and Meckler on 1-2. Looks at a fastball, strike 3. Second time in a row against the Angels. Sasaki has struck out 8.
Fastball to knees that maintains its altitude. Remember, it's not the knee cap, it's the hollow of the knee. Every hitter in the big leagues measured in spring training.
85th pitch coming up here, and Alex Vesia has started to warm. Left-handed batting Donovan Walton's on deck. Joe Adell fouls off the first pitch splitter. Adell's 0 for 2 with one of those 8 Ks.
You got a few things going on in Mark Prior and Dave Roberts' mind. You got getting him up the tunnel with a good feeling if he gets this hitter out, the pitch count, and the scoreboard.
Ground ball, diving stop by Santiago Espinal. And Roki Sasaki, with some help from his defense here in the 6th, is through 6 scoreless.
It's been Miggy, it's been Mookie, and now Santiago.
It's a shutout into the bottom of the 6th in a stadium where he'd given up 15 runs in 12 innings in his career. Top of the order, Ohtani with a wave and a miss at a lollipop of a curve. Ohtani has struck out both times. Comes in as one of the hottest hitters in baseball, if not the hottest. Detmers has had his number. Back home with an 0-1.
I don't care how often you've gotten him out in this game. 0-0 and him up, you're still nervous to pitch to him. You got to take those nerves and put it into execution.
Lifts one the other way towards the corner for Meckler. And he's out number 1. Reid Detmers out of Nokomis, Illinois. It's a town of 3,000 people, and it's produced 3 Major League Hall of Famers. Ray Schalk, who was a catcher in the early 1900s. Red Ruffing, a name you may have heard of. Pitched a couple decades in the majors, mostly with the New York Yankees. And then a guy named Jim Bottomley, who holds the Major League record for RBIs in a game. Strike on Andy Pages. Bottomley with the Cardinals in 1924 at Ebbets Field facing the Dodgers drove in 12 in one game. Nokomis, Illinois. Strike 2 on Pages.
Andy upset with himself. Detmers glad to get a baseball back. That the scoreboard's still the same. That was a really nice pass at this fastball near the middle of the plate, inner half.
Shaking through a couple, chooses this curve, and it misses. Now the Dodgers scored just 2 runs yesterday. Both came in the 5th inning. Outside of that 5th inning, they got 3 hits in their last 13 innings of offense. Poke to right, floating to the gap, and a base hit for Pages.
You want to capsulize how he has grown as a hitter? 2 strikes, and now using the opposite field, staying within himself after missing a fastball in the inner half that he thought he should have got a home run on. But he kept his balance, he kept his composure, he kept his approach, and went to right.
How about how still his head was on that swing?
That swing should gather him some all-star votes. People should be impressed.
Freeman. The Detmers has stymied just about everybody.
Watch the eyes and the head, as Joe pointed out. They barely move. Keeps his balance. Yes, he was slightly out in front. Yes, he had to extend his swing, but the eyes, he got it.
There goes Pages. Throw from Ohapi. Pages is out.
Both teams knowing that the pitchers are on their game, finding any way to get into scoring position, find a way to get a run. Front leg just pops up and just doesn't get there.
Dodgers out of challenges, so they play on, and Freddie Freeman grounds it foul 1-2. Started to say Detmers has stymied just about everybody, but Freeman has reached both times against him. Walk in the 1st inning, single in the 4th. Down 1-2 here. Detmers turns and deals in the dirt. Three of the next 4 hitters in the lineup, starting here with Freddie Freeman, have taken Detmers deep before. Getting close to the 90 pitch mark. Is 2-2. Away. Ball 3.
has gone over 90 pitches in every outing this year and gone over 100 twice.
Another payoff to Freeman. And he went around strike 3. Caught stealing helps him face the minimum in the 6th. He's got 6 Ks and 6 scoreless. Roki Sasaki and Reed Detmers. What a pitcher's duel we've got going. On to the 7th inning, 6 scoreless for both guys. Just 2 hits against Detmers and against Sasaki.
Including this outing, go back to the other Angel outing that Roki had. This is the 4th start. He went into that outing with a 5.88 ERA. He's down to 4.11.
Donovan Walton leads off this inning. And he's down 0-2.
That includes games against the Angels, the Milwaukee Brewers, the Phillies, and now the Angels again. I was so glad to see Dave Roberts let him come back out, because in some ways you want to be conservative and get him up the tunnel, but in other ways Dave has said, you know what, I'm going to push him. He deserves it. He's earned it.
Another 0-2 to Walton. Career high is 104. That was May 2nd against the Cardinals. That's the only time that he's exceeded 100 pitches in his major league career.
That was his 90th pitch, and it was 99 miles an hour.
That's an Angels lineup not good overall, but the last 2 weeks, #1 run scoring lineup in baseball. Over 6 runs per game, coming off scoring 11 on Wednesday in the last game against Colorado. Another 0-2 from Sasaki to Walton. His 9th strikeout, a new career high. They are 0 for 8 with 5 Ks against that splitter.
He's gone from a spray pattern like a shotgun to a rifle where he knows he can start the ball in the middle of the plate with the rifle shot, and it's going to go multiple places and multiple velocities.
1 out. Here's Peraza. Bunts it along third and foul. Those 2 highest strikeout games have come against the Angels, both over the last month. He's only gone 7 full innings one time in his career. That was against the Angels. Peraza launches a fly ball to center field. No big deal for Andy Pages. 2 gone in the 7th.
I guarantee you he's having fun. And he's not pitching scared now, even with the scoreboard 0-0. A lot of times you can see a youngster get a tight scoreboard and start trying to avoid the home run. He is pitching to the middle of the plate and making the ball dance.
Madrigal broke up the no-hitter with a double in the 5th. Watches a fastball split the plate, and Sasaki showing no signs of slowing at all.
He's channeling in his inner robo strike throwing machine.
Just for triple digits in there.
Yeah.
Bends it in, strike 2.
Just over 70% first pitch strikes on the evening. Then an amazing splitter and a great slider and awesome fastball velocity.
Here he comes with an 0-2. Career high 9 Ks, trying to finish off 7 scoreless. He's followed a turnaround month of May with a gem here in June. Another 0-2. And another strikeout for Roki Sasaki. 10 for the first time in his career. Sasaki may be arriving tonight. 7th inning stretch brought to you by Sit and Sleep, SoCal's most trusted mattress store. Best game of his career, Roki Sasaki. That's all he does against the Angels. Best games of his career. 1 run over 7 innings when he faced him in May. No runs over 7 innings tonight. 10 strikeouts. Night is finished, though, for his counterpart in Reed Detmers. Detmers at 91 pitches, but finished after 6 innings and hands it off to Chase Silseth, who's been one of the only guys in that pen they've been able to count on.
Shortstop, Mookie Betts.
Hitters have got to him a little bit with nobody on, but once somebody is on, he has been very good.
Betts, Tucker, and Smith coming up. Strike one, started him with a sweeper. Silseth has not given up an earned run since April. Same draft that they took tomorrow's starting pitcher in Jack Kahanowitz. They took Silseth. And all 20 pitchers that they took, or all 20 players they took in that draft were pitchers.
Mainly fastball split, Mookie, you'll see, even though he saw the sweeper first pitch. League hitting below 200 on both the splitter and the fastball. Fastball at 192, the splitter at 185.
Sasaki over there by Travis Smith, the strength coach, who's played a big role in Roki's turnaround. Jack Harris for the California Post wrote a piece about their relationship and the work that's gone in. Betts up the middle, knuckling bouncer picked up by Madrigal, who will throw Betts out for the first out of the 7th. Roki's listed at 187. That's what he was when he arrived, but he's up to 205. Just time on task in the weight room. Year and a half now of working with Travis. Travis is saying that Roki bought in slowly, as has been the case with a lot of the coaching, a lot of the resources the Dodgers have. Roki's taking his time, bringing those into what he does. But Travis said once he realized he could push some load in the weight room and not have it affect him negatively pitching and his delivery, he's bought in fully. Tucker fouls it off. You see that jump in velocity. Yeah, part of it's mechanical, but part of it, he's just bigger and generates more force.
You know, after a great outing, if that's the guy he's sitting next to, how close that relationship is.
Yeah, you can just see it over there.
Just make it clap.
Travis doesn't speak a ton of Japanese. Roki doesn't speak a ton of English, but they meet in the middle enough where they can make each other smile like that.
That relationship might last a long time with what we saw on the mound tonight. That was way more than potential.
Silseth to Tucker. His 1-2. Got him with a fastball. Tucker's 0 for 3. 2 gone in the 7th.
Both his split and his fastball have high whiff percentage. Fastball over 30%, splitter over 40%.
2 strikeout game for Will Smith. No score, bottom of the 7th.
Mookie doesn't have any hits. Will doesn't have any hits. Miggy doesn't have any hits, but they've played some defense. Espinal doesn't have any hits, but they've contributed in other ways. Will throwing out Neto at second base.
The catcher is challenging the call ball.
Well, Hoppy trying to get this overturned. It is outside though, and the Angels are out of challenges.
Call is confirmed. Anaheim is out of challenges.
Ooh, she hit him with an Anaheim. They don't like that. Kurt Suzuki, first-year manager of the Angels. Longtime Major League catcher. A great way about him. 2-0 to Smith. 5th manager they've had the last 5 years. And they ain't saying that they're not going to have another next year. He's on a 1-year contract. That's after the stability of Mike Scioscia, 18 years. Now this revolving door. Green light if he wants it. He'll take ball 4. 2-out walk for Smith. And in a 0-0 game, he's aboard here in the 7th. For Alex Call.
Alex Call.
Call comes into the game one of 4 hitters in the National League with an on-base percentage at .400. Shohei Ohtani, Bryce Turang, James Wood, and Alex Call.
Lined out to second base in his last at bat. You're not really looking for the home run here, but you'd love to see something down one of the 2 lines or in the gap and watch Will Smith run.
First one to Call. This is outside.
These games are more important for the Dodgers than the blowouts. When they can see that they can perform in stressful situations, it prepares them for the stress of October. And so these tight games, no matter who they're playing, and they have to play detailed baseball, it's important for everything leading up to the playoffs. And you start thinking about that as they continue to expand their lead in the National League West.
The 1-1 pitch. And their first strike, 1 and 2 on Call. Like working muscles in the gym, right? Work those muscles as the season goes on. So you're buff when you get to October.
And it's the mental muscle of the concentration, the passion of the moment, understanding how you're going to react to it and what you need to work on and concentrate on, compared to the easy at bat when you're up by 7.
Two-out walk to Smith. 2-2 count on Call. Silseth deals. Call. Watches a splitter drop out of the zone. That's a tough take.
Great eye, and he doesn't mind hitting with 2 strikes, and he will take the walk here, and the walk would put somebody, Will Smith, into scoring position. It's one way to pass the baton.
Call cracks his bat on a pop to the pitcher that'll end the 7. No score after 7 innings in LA. Call to the bullpen is brought to you by Jacoby and Myers. 7 scoreless innings from Hiroki Sasaki, and now Edgardo Enriquez takes over in a 0-0 game.
Love this high leverage situation for him. The potential is off the charts for him to make a huge impact in this bullpen, and it's got to be situations like this where he performs.
8-9-1 coming up. O'Hoppe, Frazier, and Neto. And O'Hoppe bunts the first pitch foul. It's the first time the Dodgers have been tied at 0 through 7 innings. In almost exactly 1 year. June 7th of last year in St. Louis. It was 0-0 through 7 against the Cardinals. Lost that game 2-1. Hoping for a better finish to this one. Another tight ball game after the 3-2 loss yesterday, their first walk-off loss this year. Enriquez has put up 7 of his last 8 games. Delivers a 1-1 pitch to the Angel catcher. Bottom of the knees at 103. And
no
the Angels are out of challenges, and O'Hoppe can blame himself for that.
Yeah, this ball is probably low. Yep.
So maybe I should have held on to one. Now the 1-2. Popped out of his hand, but got a swing and strike 3.
Frustrating at bat for O'Hoppe. A nice bat for the Dodgers.
So Enriquez picks up right where Sasaki left off with a career high 10 Ks. Enriquez strikes out the first man that he faces, and up comes Adam Frazier. Even with this high octane stuff, you don't see a ton of strikeouts for Enriquez. Only one of them his last 3 games. Follows behind 2-0. Top of the order next. And Dave Roberts set to give Tanner Scott, it looks like, another opportunity to move on quickly. Two balls, 1 strike.
Really good pitch in a 0-0 game in the 8th inning where 1 swing can hurt you. A low and away fastball, make him beat you the opposite field. Go right back there. I went a little bit down the middle, but it's 101. That's an asset I never had. 101 down the middle, yeah, you can get away with it.
You know what the fastest pitch you ever threw was?
Oh boy.
In a game?
94, 95 max. Maybe 3-4 times in my life.
Back foot's a curveball to strike him out.
Back-to-back strikeouts, 1 on a high breaking ball you'd like to have back, and now the good one. Very nice adjustment.
It's only the 2nd time in his last 15 games that he's gotten multiple strikeouts. 2 up, 2 down in the 8th. Top of the order in Neto, who's got one of the 4 hits in this ball game between the 2 teams combined. Now the Angels strike out more than anybody, but been a lot more contact the last couple weeks. Reverting to that early season strikeout madness tonight. Enriquez fires 1-0. Neto takes a ball, but a challenge here from Smith.
The catcher is challenging the call ball.
A good one. A great pitch.
The call is overturned. Los Angeles has 2 challenges remaining.
The 1-1 to Neto is fouled off the hand, strike 2.
101 on the outside corner, completely different than 102 on the inside corner. The reaction time, how close it is to the hitter, that had to feel like 105.
Saw Max Muncy getting ready to pinch hit. Rojas, Espinal, Ohtani the do-ups for the Dodgers in the 8th. Freeland as well. Freeland wasn't in a head-on collision 24 hours ago. Oh, it popped out of his hand and hit him with 2 strikes. And now he's got to face Mike Trout.
Hopefully it got mostly helmet. Unfortunately, it is not a fastball at 102. It's a breaking ball, and it gets him in the shoulder. With breaking balls, you can just throw a good one. You go to throw a better one, and it slips out a lot of times, like that one did.
Center fielder number 27, Mike Trout.
So in a 0-0 game in the 8th, it's Mike Trout, 0 for 3 in this game, trying to extend a 15-game on-base streak, and a bigger deal for the Angels, trying to give them the game's first run. Neto stole second last time he was aboard. Looking Steelerish again. Not running. Ball 1. Bigger lead this time. Still not going. Trout strokes it foul, and the count evens up. Mike Trout in his 16th major league season, best he's been in years. A 1-1 from Enriquez, got a chase on a fastball.
Trout guessing strike, getting it started early, wanted to pull this ball. He was swinging before it almost came out of his hand.
How does that inform the next pitch?
Well, you could go breaking ball, but you better make it in the dirt. Don't speed up his bat with a strike breaking ball.
There goes Neto. Fastball's inside. Throw down is late, and Neto has his second steal.
Complete attention to Trout. With 2 strikes, take the risk if you're the Angels. Easily gets there.
Count evens 2-2 on Trout. Enriquez deals, and he strikes him out. 3 Ks in the inning, season high for Edgardo Enriquez. Still no score. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Southern California Ford dealers. Discover the complete Ford lineup, rugged, stylish, and powerful trucks and SUVs, engineered for your adventures. To the bottom of the 8th we go. No score on just 2 hits apiece. Sam Bachman has been one of their top relievers this year. He's given up just 1 run in his last 11 games. And Dave Roberts is set to unload his bench right here. Max Muncy will pinch hit for Rojas, and then Freeland's going to pinch hit for Espinal.
Brings up left-handers against the righty. Right-handers hitting 151 off him. Left-handers hitting 196, gaining about 45 points of batting average.
Now Muncy pinch hitting here after the collision last night. A couple hours before the game, Dave wasn't sure yet if Max would be available tonight. He said he'd check in with him and see. And Max, other than a little cut on his nose feeling a little bruised, good enough to go. On an 0-1 pitch, fouls it off, and it's 0-2. Max has struggled lately, just 190 over the last month. Down quickly, 1 away.
Pinch hitter, number 76, Alex Freeland.
From one pinch hitter to another, Freeland in his short time in the major leagues, 2 for 6 with a home run and a double as a pinch hitter. All those at-bats came last year. Since coming back up to the major leagues this year, you see the numbers in yellow there, 333. Looking more and more comfy all the time.
I've always liked his mojo, even when he's not doing well. But he is definitely starting to come out of his skin a little bit, show some confidence, show his personality.
Ohtani waits on deck. And Freeland's ahead 2-1. Dodgers really only 1 threat in this game. That was in the 4th when they had 1st and 3rd with 1 out. Tucker and Smith coming up, couldn't get anything across. Caught the corner, 2-2. The lone hits. Freddie Freeman a single in the 4th. And Andy Pages a single in the 6th. Sam Bachman's 2-2.
Nice pass at 100-mile-an-hour fastball right there with 2 strikes. Find a way to get Ohtani up to the plate, or maybe do it yourself with a swing like this.
On another 2-2, Freeland stays alive, going down to get that changeup.
It's a good at bat right here.
For Muncy goes down on 3 pitches. 7th one coming to Freeland. In a scoreless 8th inning, Freeland pinch hitting and getting hit.
You know, in some ways, Freeland made himself get hit right there, because that's an overthrown breaking ball after 2 nice passes at a fastball and a changeup. He's like, I got to go to something different. This guy is on me. He goes to the breaking ball and just overthrows it. Freeland gets to reach base.
And it brings up Ohtani. Strikes one to left field, right at Meckler, onto the track to make the catch. Hard to hit it much more squarely than that. 102 exit velocity, but caught by Meckler and 2 out.
Yeah, Shohei's routine line drive gets to the warning track. And they were playing him deep, so it was caught easily. But if they're at normal depth, that's a double.
Now Pages, owner of one of those 2 hits. Freeland over at first, just 1 stolen base.
With 1 leg. After getting hit on it. He was coming back to first after Ohtani's line out. With a bruise rubbing his thigh.
Nasty breaking pitch, 0-2.
The first one kind of a hanger, the second one sharper.
The first round draft pick in Bachman out of Miami of Ohio. You hear Miami, you think, yeah, first round picks come out of there all the time, but not out of Oxford, Ohio. Got to the majors 2 years after that, but then he had shoulder surgery and missed more than a year. Last year, more injuries, thoracic outlet syndrome. Avoided surgery on that, but had a 6 ERA. Putting it all together this year, though, with a 2.17 ERA.
With the 0-0 on the scoreboard between the 2 teams, they've had 7 balls hit over 100 miles an hour off the bat. 6 of 7 have been outs.
Pages down on strikes. Bachman with a scoreless save. Everybody was scoreless innings. On to the 9th. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Get fired up with the Hot Ones Munchie Meal. Pinch hitters remain in the game defensively. Muncy at third and Freeland at second. And Tanner Scott comes on with 3, 4, and 5 coming up for the Angels. Scott has had an awesome year. First rough patch year lately. 2 of the last 3 games he suffered the loss. All 3 losses this year, home run has been the reason.
All off his fastball. None off the slider.
1-0 to Meckler is swung on and missed. The fastball. Meckler coming off a 4-hit game, 6 out of his last 8 coming into this series, but 2 Ks tonight against Sasaki. On the 1-1 from Scott. Takes outside. Dodgers in the bottom of the ninth. Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Kyle Tucker due up. And the Angels have used both of their top relievers at this point in Chase Hilseth and Sam Bachman. So if Bachman were continue. Loaded up with lefties down there with a couple left-handed hitters due up. Kirby Yates has started to warm. The old Dodger, Kirby Yates. Into the Dodger pen, Blake Treinen. Taking his time with the minimum 3 hitters here for Scott. Adell and Walton due up after. As Scott gets ready and comes home with a 2-2. He struck him out. Nice slider.
That slider is much improved from last year as far as results. Last year the league hit 267 off it. Coming into this game before that at bat, 120 they're hitting off of it.
One gone in the ninth on the 14th strikeout of the game. Delivered by Dodger pitching. And strike one on Joe Adell. It's one shy of a season high. They had 15 against the Astros in early May.
You should get fries with your jumbo jack when you get up into those numbers.
That's true. A fry is strikeout. That is a fair ball, and Adell still in the batter's box. He's saying that it hit him. And now Jen Powell is as well.
Did it graze the top of his foot? Must have just barely hit it for him to stand there.
Can't review it. You can ask for help.
Yeah.
You can ask for her to ask for help. But not going to get any overturn here. I don't know.
Whoa. Might have vibrated his foot, but I'm not sure it hit it.
That call didn't come until later either. So Scott will try it again with an 0-2 and just miss outside. Smith going to try and get it done himself with a challenge.
The catcher is challenging the call ball.
It was. Still one challenge left.
The call is confirmed. Los Angeles has one challenge remaining.
Ball and 2 strikes on Adell. 37 home runs last year for Joe Adell. Top 5 in the American League. He's got 9 so far this year. Uber talented player. On a 2-2 from Scott. He pops it up. Short right field. Freeland sprints out. Tucker sprints on, sort of, and then drops in front of him. Tucker was deep. I don't know if he didn't see it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to see the replay to see what kind of break he got. I was checking out Freeland because it looked like it was high as it was going to be an infielder's ball, but this ball just keeps moving away. Freeland coming all the way from over to second base.
Looks like Tucker thinks Freeland has it.
Yeah, it didn't look like he was full speed the whole way.
So one out base runner here in the ninth, and Walton's up there bunting it in front of the plate. Smith will go to first in time. Into scoring position goes Adell. They might think that he has it, but that's still the right fielder's ball.
First baseman number 2, Oswald.
Winds up falling. The Angels have the go-ahead run in scoring position here with 2 out in the 9th inning. And with the right-handed batting Oswald Peraza coming up, Blake Treinen's coming in. Back in a moment. When this game finishes, stay tuned for Access Sportsnet Dodgers, presented by Mercury Insurance. John and Jerry and Nomar. No score here in the top of the 9th inning. Pitcher's duel these boys are going to be talking about. Blake Treinen comes on with Joe Adell at second and 2 out.
Blake's been on a roll since the end of April. 1-7-4. And all of a sudden the calendar turned to May.
It's Oswald Peraza at the plate. Treinen's first one is punched to first. Freeman gets the short hop, and it takes Blake Treinen 1 pitch. On to the bottom of the 9th. It'll be Freddie Freeman to lead off, then Mookie Betts, then Kyle Tucker, and a 0-0 game. No score to the bottom of the 9th inning. And old friend Kirby Yates is on the pitch. Just was not himself last year. His own year with the Dodgers. Dealt with injuries throughout. Is very much a I don't know if mascot is the word, but he was part of the energy during the postseason in a big way as the Dodgers made the World Series run, being around the team, helping any way he could with his spirit. And in his first season with the Angels, getting back on track. On here to face Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, and Kyle Tucker.
Well, he hasn't had a lot of experience this year, only 9 1/3 innings, started the year on the IL.
Freeman leads off. 19 career walk-off hits for Freddie Freeman. That's 4 more than anybody else since the start of his career. On the 1-0, Freeman takes a strike.
This inning could be on Freddie and Tucker. Yates has dominated righties at an 0.56 clip, but left-handers have an OPS over 1100 and are hitting over 350.
Three balls and a strike on Freeman. Walking a single. Dodgers have had 5 men reach in this game, and Freddie's been that guy twice. Leading off the 9th in a scoreless game and lifting a fly ball foul. First walk-off loss yesterday. They're looking for a walk-off win to bounce back from. 3-2 to Freddie Freeman. In the air to right center field. Back goes Trout with Adell at the wall. It only takes one, and Freddie Freeman provides it. Freddie Freeman ends the 0-0 pitcher's duel with a solo shot. A walk-off home run in the 9th inning.
It took a while, but it was worth the wait. Sasaki got it started with an outstanding outing, probably the best outing of his career. And we've seen this ending before from Freddie Freeman.
His 20th career walk-off hit is a home run against Kirby Yates, ending a thriller of a ball game. These are the best counts.
It was a nail-biter all the way through with the pitcher's duel, and ridiculous finish there at the end with Freddie's. That swing is gorgeous. He opens it up every once in a while when he gets the right pitch. He'll go to right field. He was late on a fastball the pitch before, probably staying back for some off speed, but then one more up heater and he plants it.
Let's go down to Kirsten.
Thank you, Joe. Obviously, there's a very familiar face in Kirby Yates on the mound, but for you to get to him. I know it felt good just beating up on an old friend, but also what were you seeing from the plate that allowed you to get that swing?
Yeah, I mean, obviously against Kirby, it's, you give him a little smile right before, and then you go to work. I missed a 3-1 fastball, and thank you. Against Kirby, you got to look up because of his splitter. So I was looking up, trying not to swing at the splitter, and luckily I was able to get a fastball up.
Does hearing these Freddie chants, does this ever get old for you?
No, it never gets old. I love it. I appreciate it. It's awesome. Fans come out every single night and support us, so we really, really do appreciate it. Glad we got the win.
This obviously was a close one. We can call it a pitcher's duel, but Roki Sasaki described just what he was doing on the mound today.
Yeah, for the last, 4 or 5 starts, he's been incredible. He's got his 100-mile-an-hour heater, splitters at 92, 93. Glad he's on our side. He's been incredible, but pitcher's duel, Reed was great on the other side, but bullpen came and shut it down, gave us a chance.
Freddie, congratulations on this win.
Thank you, Kirsten.
Freddie Freeman's walk-off home run gives the Dodgers the 1-0 win. They're 17th out of the last 22. Respond to last night's walk-off loss with a walk-off win of their own. Stay tuned for Access Sportsnet Dodgers. We'll talk to you again tomorrow night.